the seemingly endless materials in the NASA archives will sometimes yield very unexpected results.
Roger, it's distinctly smaller. You're now 177,000 miles out, over.
One of the first books we did was the Apollo 11 book. So we said, could we have the Apollo 11 technical debrief?
Well, it turns out there wasn't a tape. The tapes have vanished. But there was a transcript. Well, the transcript was still classified. And they said, we're going to go through it over the weekend. If there are no showstoppers in it, we'll release it to you. What was really funny was in the middle of this debrief was a reference to something that they had seen out of the window that they couldn't identify.
It was all about the UFO that they'd seen. That they'd always said, no, we didn't see a UFO. We didn't see a UFO. Well, excuse me, but on page 38 it says that you all three guys saw a UFO.
Here it was in the debrief, in the crew's own words, and all three of them talked about it at length and described this thing differently, and the guys on the ground had radar and they couldn't figure out what it was, and they thought it might have been a part of the Saturn IV which was flying alongside them, but it wasn't.
How'd we see this thing? Did we just look out the window and there it was?
We were in the PTC at the time, so each one of us had a chance to take a look at this, and it certainly seemed to be within our vicinity and of a very sizable dimension.
We should say that it was right at the limit of the resolution of the eye.
What we saw appeared to be a cylinder.
Or really two rings.
Yes.
Two rings, two connected rings.
No, it looked like a hollow cylinder to me.
I guess there's not too much more to say about it other than it wasn't a cylinder.
It was during the period when we thought it was a cylinder that we inquired about the S4B, and we'd almost convinced ourselves that that's what it had to be. But we don't have any more conclusions than that, really.
Mike actually said, yeah, I think that was about the same time as I felt a bump. Or maybe I didn't feel a bump. We were reading this and going, that's pretty weird.
In the end, they just kind of breeze on by it and dismiss it. They still don't know what it was. All three of them saw it. All three of them described it differently. All three of them said it was large, but it wasn't the Saturn IV. Shortly after publishing it, I started getting calls from all these UFO groups saying, how did you get this? So you get some kicks out of that kind of thing.